In this lesson, you will learn how people investigate physical traces left from earlier times. You will see how careful observation and recording help turn scattered clues into useful historical evidence. Imagine a patch of ground where part of a wall, broken pottery, a small object and bones appear in different places. The puzzle is not simply what each thing is, but what the whole place can tell us when every clue is studied carefully. Look at the physical clues in the marked place and across the wider landscape. The wall fragment, pottery, tool, mound, and pathway are material remains, physical traces left from the past. Archaeology is the study of such material remains from sites and landscapes. These remains become archaeological sources when they are studied as evidence about earlier human life. The grouped clues show what this field studies. Archaeology studies material remains. Sites and landscapes can both preserve physical evidence. These clues matter because they are physical traces that can be observed directly. A wall, tool, or mound does not explain itself, so investigators study both the remains and the place where they occur. Looking beyond shiny or valuable objects prevents archaeology from becoming treasure hunting. The goal is to understand past human activity from material evidence, whether the remains look ordinary or special. That changes how we think about the search itself. Archaeology seeks evidence, not treasure. Ordinary-looking remains can be historically useful. Use the bracket around the physical clues. What are archaeological sources, and what does archaeology study? The site and landscape together give the definition. Archaeological sources are material remains studied from sites and landscapes, and archaeology studies these remains to learn about the past. The image provides the visible clues for this answer. Next, we will identify tools, pottery, bones, buildings, burials, coins, and inscriptions as archaeological material remains and define artifact. Look across the 7 cards. Tools, pottery, bones, buildings, burials, coins, and inscriptions can all be archaeological material remains. Now notice the smaller artifact bracket around the tool, pottery, and coin. An artifact is a human-made or human-modified object, so artifacts form only one part of the wider material evidence archaeologists study. The smaller bracket shows one category inside a larger one. Artifacts are one kind of material remain. Other physical remains can also be archaeological evidence. This wider range matters because the past leaves many kinds of physical evidence. If we looked only for valuable objects, we would miss walls, bones, burials, and other remains that may answer important questions. Even ordinary pottery can matter because it records human activity, not because it is rare or expensive. Archaeological usefulness depends on evidence, not glamour. The evidence board corrects a common assumption. Useful evidence need not be valuable treasure. A pot fragment, wall, or bone can matter because of what it helps us investigate. Use both the large board and the smaller artifact bracket. Which examples can be archaeological material remains, and what is an artifact? The board separates the broad group from its subset. Tools, pottery, bones, buildings, burials, coins, and inscriptions can be archaeological material remains, and an artifact is a human-made or human-modified object. The image provides the visible clues for this answer. Next, we will compare an artifact with a site, so the difference between an object and the place where evidence is found becomes clear. Look at the pottery fragment on the left. By itself, it is an artifact, one human-made object. Now look at the right panel, where the same fragment lies inside a marked place with a wall line and another tool. That larger place is a site, a place where archaeological remains are found and studied. An artifact can therefore be one piece of evidence within a site. The repeated pottery fragment makes the difference visible. An artifact is an object, a site is a place. The same artifact can be part of a larger site. This distinction matters because an object and the place containing it answer different questions. The pottery fragment can be examined as an object, but the site shows that it belongs to a wider set of remains. If we treated one object as the whole site, we would lose information about the other evidence around it. Keeping object and place separate helps organize archaeological evidence before interpretation. This keeps one clue from standing in for the whole place. One artifact is only part of a site. Other remains in the same place may add important evidence. Compare the single object with the marked ground area. What is the difference between an artifact and a site? The matched panels show two different scales. An artifact is a human-made or human-modified object, while a site is a place where archaeological remains are found and studied. The image provides the visible clues for this answer. Next, we will see how excavation and careful recording help archaeologists investigate a site without losing important information. Follow the same square through the 4 stages. Soil is removed slowly, the pottery fragment is exposed, a numbered marker is placed beside it, and the find is sketched and noted before it is moved. This careful uncovering is excavation. Careful recording is part of the process because information about a find can be lost once the object is taken away. The sequence shows why speed is not the goal. Excavation uncovers, recording preserves information. Archaeologists document a find before removing it from its place. A fast dig might reveal an object, but it could destroy clues about how that object lay in the ground. By working in a marked area and uncovering slowly, archaeologists can observe each find before the surrounding evidence is disturbed. The numbered marker links the object to the sketch and notes. Once the pottery is lifted, those records preserve information the empty hole can no longer show. This is careful investigation, not treasure hunting. The field record protects information that movement can erase. Record a find before removing it. The record keeps information that may disappear after movement. Use the order of the 4 stages. What are excavation and careful recording, and why are both used? The sequence shows 2 connected jobs. Excavation is the careful, controlled uncovering of archaeological remains, and careful recording preserves information about a find before it is moved. The image provides the visible clues for this answer. Next, we will name the location and associations around a find as its context. Look at the pottery fragment on the left and notice 2 extra clues around it. Its exact position is marked, and nearby remains are still visible. Together, the object's location and association with surrounding evidence form its archaeological context. The identical fragment on the right has lost that context, so the object alone carries less information about how it related to the site. The same object becomes more informative when its relationships are preserved. Context links an object to place and nearby remains. Location and association can matter as much as the object itself. An isolated object can still be examined, but it cannot show by itself how it was positioned within the site. When the find remains linked to a recorded location and nearby features, archaeologists can compare relationships instead of guessing from the object alone. Those relationships may support an interpretation, but they do not prove a complete story. Careful recording during excavation helps preserve context after an object is moved. The comparison also sets a limit on what evidence can prove. Context strengthens inference but does not prove everything. Archaeologists still compare clues carefully. Compare the left and right versions of the same pottery fragment. What is archaeological context, and why can it matter as much as the object itself? The extra clues around the left-hand find make the difference. Archaeological context is the location of a find and its association with surrounding remains, and it can matter as much as the object because those relationships provide evidence that the isolated object does not. The image provides the visible clues for this answer. Next, we will use context to make careful inferences and see why archaeology is not treasure hunting and one object cannot prove a complete story. Look at the 3 clues being considered together: the pottery fragment, its recorded location, and the nearby remains. Instead of jumping to a dramatic story, the claim card uses careful language and says the evidence suggests an interpretation. Archaeology is not treasure hunting. An ordinary object can be useful evidence, and one object alone does not prove a complete story. Archaeologists build interpretations by comparing clues and keeping claims within what the evidence can support. The crossed-out shortcuts show what careful reasoning avoids. Archaeology builds cautious claims from evidence. One clue is not a complete story. The word suggests matters because archaeological evidence is often incomplete. A location, an object, and nearby remains can support a pattern, but they do not allow us to invent every detail. Comparing several clues reduces the risk of overreading one find. Rejecting the treasure shortcut reminds us that historical usefulness depends on evidence, not money or sparkle. Careful inference means saying what the evidence supports and stopping before unsupported certainty. Good evidence language shows both confidence and limits. Evidence can suggest without proving a complete story. Careful claims stop where support runs out. Use the evidence group and both crossed-out shortcuts. Why is archaeology not treasure hunting, and why can one object not prove a complete story? The board shows what counts as a stronger investigation. Archaeology studies relevant material evidence rather than searching only for valuable objects, and one object cannot prove a complete story because interpretations need supporting evidence and context. The image provides the visible clues for this answer. Next, we will combine material remains, artifacts, sites, excavation, recording, and context in one complete archaeological investigation. Start at the site on the left, where several material remains are visible together, and the pottery is only one artifact within the larger place. The investigation then moves through careful excavation, recording before movement, and preservation of context. Only after those steps does the pathway reach a cautious inference. Archaeology works by protecting and connecting evidence before making a claim about the past. The 5 gates turn the whole lesson into one method. Archaeology preserves evidence before interpreting it. The path protects information from sight to final inference. Each gate protects something the next step needs. Careful excavation reveals remains without unnecessary disturbance, while recording keeps a trace of what was seen before an object moves. Context links the find to its position and nearby evidence. When those relationships survive, the final interpretation can draw on more than the object alone. The result is stronger because the claim grows from connected evidence rather than treasure value, guesswork, or one isolated find. The final card shows the standard for a good explanation. Strong inference uses connected evidence and context. Every claim should match the evidence preserved through the investigation. Use the 5 gates from left to right. What are the main steps in a careful archaeological investigation? The pathway lets us reconstruct the whole method. Study material remains at a site, excavate carefully, record finds before moving them, preserve context, and make a cautious inference from the connected evidence. The image provides the visible clues for this answer. You are ready to use archaeological evidence, sites, artifacts, excavation, and context to make careful historical inferences.